Hi sir, welcome to the podcast interview. And in today's call, we are trying to understand what you guys are launching with V2. तो जिनको नहीं पता है यूनिलैंड जो है अपना V2 काफ़ी जल्द अनाउंस करने वाला है एंड फॉर दैट वी हैव चंद्रेश सर विद अस हु इज़ गोइंग टू पुट अप अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ कॉन्टेक्स्ट व्हाट V2 इज़ ऑल अबाउट बट बिफोर गोइंग इनटू ऑल ऑफ दैट जो आपको अभी देख रहे हैं आई एम बिट क्यूरियस टू नो अबाउट योर जर्नी इनटू द स्पेस बिकॉज मोस्ट ऑफ माय ऑडियंस इज इन देयर अर्ली 20s. तो व्हेन यू आर इन योर 20s तो आपने वेब 3 स्पेस में कैसे एंटर किया था?
Yeah, I mean the journey तो यार काफी interesting रही मेरी to be honest. So basically if I go in background और थोड़ा सा मतलब as I understand your audience might be studying somewhere currently. So just a background, I did my computer science engineering, and after that I worked as a software engineer for 2-3 years. Then I went for my MBA. I did my MBA from Niti Mumbai, from where Sandeep is. Also, he was my college super senior, but we didn't meet there. And after that, I was working for Vodafone for 2-3 years, but parallelly, I was also exploring what are new technologies which will be really big in future, just like internet was there long back. So I came across Bitcoin from one of my friends. Then I started reading about what this blockchain technology is all about, and I was very I was very impressed with all the things which blockchain could achieve, because we have lived in an environment where we feel like, okay, we need this kind of possibilities happening, and we are the generation which is very much tech savvy. So I was like, okay, this is something which is getting built for future, and the actual audience or actual people who are going to use it are the people of our generation. So this is how I got interested. Then I read about Ethereum, and I was like, this is the future. This is literally the future. So I need to sort of start getting into it. I need to start my contribution. So during that time I realized that, okay, this technology has been there for few years, but still it is not easy to understand. There are a lot of people who were not aware how to do a simple transaction on Ethereum. Currently, like, most of the people use MetaMask. उस टाइम पे एक माई क्रिप्टो करके प्लेटफॉर्म हुआ करता था. So I started using that, and I started joining different Telegram groups where I can interact with like-minded people and learn from them also. तो उसी period के around I realized, okay, there is a lot of education which need to happen. So I started my contribution for the Ethereum community, specifically for the Indian people. So I was contributing for around 1 year for the Ethereum ecosystem. Then during that period I sort of got in touch with Sandeep. At that time, Sandeep along with JD and Anurag, they were they were in a very early stage of building out Matic network, which is now Polygon. So I thought, okay, this could be a good opportunity for me. Then I joined them as their head of marketing and strategy. Worked there for more than an year, and sort of learned all the things from Sandeep, that how it is to be done, and got connected with a lot of folks. And during that time, we were trying to get Matic listed on Aave. And currently, like, the irony is Aave is currently deployed on Polygon, but during that time when Polygon and Matic was not that much famous, we were finding it very difficult. And this thought came into my mind that, okay, just like I believe that a blockchain as a technology is currently in a very nascent stage. There is a lot to be built out, lot of innovation which is yet to happen. So I realized, okay, there is a need of permissionless lending and borrowing protocol. I had no idea how we can achieve it, but I started with the problem that this is the problem. More than around 50% of the total market cap of crypto was at that time still not tapped into money markets. Aave Compound supported very limited tokens, and they were built during the time where the liquidity was not there. Uniswap was not that famous. So we realized, okay, these are the OG protocols which were built out considering the requirements and the ecosystem of past. But in future, as we are seeing more traction coming into, we envisioned, okay, we want to build a protocol which will be the first protocol to do permissionless lending and borrowing for any token, and at the same time it should be able to tap into everything. So we started with the vision of building something to welcome every asset to lending and borrowing, and this is how basically UniLend got started in 2020.
Very interesting actually. मतलब आपका background, like you initially worked at Matic Polygon जो है, and then you figured out a problem that you saw with Aave, and you launched UniLend. So that's a very interesting story, like एक problem को figure out करना और उसको specifically solve करना एक target audience के लिए. So very interesting to know about your journey. So like I want to know कि what you guys are building in V2, because I went through the platform UniLend में like the feature is basically for the DeFi audience mostly. तो वहाँ पे एक lend का section है, there's a section for borrow and all. So what is there in V2 जो इसमें नया देखने को मिलेगा users को?
So currently, like I will again take the same example. So Aave and Compound, when these protocols were built at that time, like I've already mentioned, not much liquidity was there on dexes. And when you list any asset as a collateral, you need the liquidity on dexes for the liquidation. So they built their protocol in a cross-chain pool mechanism, where if you have 30 assets, all those assets are sitting in a single pool. So that it is more capital efficient, the liquidations are going to be easier, and at the same time, but it limits itself to be able to support more and more assets. And we have seen the recent example of multiple protocols got exploited. The reason is they took the same code base or the same architecture of what was existing, and they started listing highly illiquid assets on the protocol. So Mango, a Solana based protocol, recently got hacked because their token was not highly liquid, so it was easy to move the prices, and ultimately you could drain other assets from the protocol. So in UniLend V2, what we have done, this is a new innovation we are coming up with, which is isolated lending pools. So just what we are doing, just like on Uniswap, you go and add liquidity of any token. So let's say you are launching a new token, you are launching a PRT token of Prometh, and in a decentralized finance currently there is a way you can go add the liquidity of PRT token with Ethereum, and you don't need to go to any centralized exchanges. Users can come and the trading of your token can start. In a similar way, as we don't know what is the future, how liquid it is going to be, but in UniLend V2, just like on Uniswap, you will have a segregated pool, a isolated dual pool for every asset. So in a similar way, you can list your token in a permissionless way for lending and borrowing. So the trading part is being solved by Uniswap. The lending and borrowing part, in a similar way, we are solving in a permissionless manner. So the first innovation with V2 is that it is coming up with the isolated lending pools. So it will be able to support any sort of asset which you can imagine, and which can be tokenized. Like take example of stocks. There is an exchange named as FTX which is tokenizing stocks. So if you have stocks in the form of ERC20 assets, the lending and borrowing of those can be started on our platform. You can take an example of bull and bear tokens. in a way, they are also tokenized. You can start the lending and borrowing of those tokens. You can take an example of index tokens. So there are, a metaverse index token, a DeFi index token that can also be lent and borrowed on our platform. We are also working, with someone which is they are tokenizing the real world assets. So if you own some house, you own a very good car, and you want to use it as a collateral, so they are tokenizing it. And anything that can be tokenized in a permissionless way on our protocol, you can come, you can list those assets. And if the market is there, we are not saying that all this experimentation is going to be successful, but we are coming up with a technical solution which will make it possible to lend and borrow all these assets. And if I go, into further technical details of our V2, we are coming up with a new way of liquidation, which we are naming as concentrated liquidations. So currently what happens, as we plan to support more and more assets, so currently the liquidations which happens by addresses. So there are 1,000 addresses which needs to be liquidated, 1,000 transactions has to be done. But as we understand, there will be, in crypto market is definitely volatile. The prices can go down by 10, 15, 20% in a very short span of time. And if we have n number of pools supported, then we will need a mechanism where all the liquidations can happen quickly. So with the help of concentrated liquidation, all the liquidations will be possible to be done in a single transaction. We are representing the LP positions of our tokens in the form of NFTs. So with the help of this, what happens, let's say you have lent $1,000 or $2,000 or $100,000 on our platform, and you don't want to sort of, liquidate your collateral, and you want to sell it in the form of NFT. Obviously the rewards and the APY you are getting are getting accumulated. If you want, you can go on OpenSea, list your NFT, and your NFT can be sold to sort of liquidate your asset, and now the other person hold that position in our protocol. So I can go on, but on a higher level, so many innovations have been done from our tech team to sort of build this up.
I mean, the thing that you said is amazing. मतलब real world assets को भी use कर सकते हैं as a collateral, और liquidation का जो आपने बात बोला, like crypto is very volatile, तो उसमें multiple like concentrated liquidity pools का idea, it's mind blowing. तो जब had another question in mind कि कब launch हो रहा है, when is the V2 coming down?
I know that this interview will take some time. So today we are launching the date. We are launching it on testnet currently, and it is going live on 27th October.
Awesome. मतलब 27th को anyone can go out and try the new V2 of UniLend.
Yes.
Great. And next, coming down to the like add-on question. So Medium पे you guys have an article about UniLend V2 which I read, and there's a mention of a $1 million pool for builders to use the UniLend ecosystem. So what type of projects are you like looking to collaborate with in the ecosystem? कि UniLend कैसे projects को fund करने का सोच रहा है?
So our vision is making every asset productive. So the UniLend V2 which we are building is in a form, you can imagine it like a base layer. So the first layer which you can imagine is on the blockchain level. So we have Ethereum, we have Polygon. This is the first layer. The second layer, will be like you can take Uniswap as an example of the second layer of protocol, on top of which multiple use cases can be built. So I'll just give you a few examples. Why we say our protocol is a second layer or base layer protocol, because when we say we have so many different pools. So users get the freedom of choosing their risk. They will be able to risk. They will have the ability of risk mitigation. Now let's say you want to use your ETH as a collateral. On Aave, you deposit ETH as a collateral, but on our platform you will have a segregated pools of ETH USDC, ETH USDT, and ETH WBTC, whatever users want, whatever the demand is there. So you will be able to choose, okay, I want to take risk against USDC, I want to take a risk against WBTC, I am not comfortable in taking risk against USDT. So those kind of freedom will be given to users. Now when you build something in this way, what happens, there will be multiple pools and different APIs will be there for Ethereum. So what one of the team is building on top of us, they are building the yield aggregator protocol. So what happens in this kind, if you take more risk, you will get higher APY. If you take less risk, you will get lower APY. So they are building a yield aggregator where you will be able to choose, okay, I want to earn more yield and I am okay with taking higher risk. No, I don't want to take bigger risk, and I am okay with the lower APY. So this kind of product one of the team is building. Then one of the team is building the fixed yield protocol on top of UniLend V2. When I say fixed yield protocol, let's say you want to log your fund, you want that I don't want the fluctuating interest rate, I want my interest rate to be fixed. So they can fix the interest rate for maybe 1 month, 2 months, based on how they want to choose the period, and you can lend on them, and your interest will be secured for that period of time. One more team we are talking to currently, they are building NFT as a collateral by using our architecture and our UniLend V2. So there are so much and so many innovation which can happen. So the idea of this grant is that there are so many builders out there, we keep on meeting them. So initially we see that currently the market is also slightly on a very downside. So we want to support these people who want to build on top of UniLend V2, and we will support with them with grants, so that they can bootstrap, start building out the product. And once the product is out there, we will help them with marketing, we will help them with investor connection. So we will sort of give every kind of help they need.
ऑसम, मतलब पूरा सपोर्ट दे रहे हो बिल्डर्स को जो यूनिलैंड को यूज़ करते हैं टू बिल्ड, लाइक इट्स सुपर ऑसम. मतलब इतना सारा इनोवेशन आपने बोला. एक फिक्स्ड एपीवाई का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है, इट्स मतलब फॉर पीपल हु आर जस्ट लुकिंग टू पुट देयर क्रिप्टो एंड जस्ट फॉरगेट अबाउट इट, कि मुझे बस इंटरेस्ट मिलने से मतलब है, लाइक आई डोंट वांट टू ट्रेड इन द मार्केट. तो उसके लिए काफ़ी बढ़िया यूज़ केस है, एंड आई थिंक इट्स अ ग्रेट आइडिया टू बी ऑनेस्ट. इसके बाद एक और मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि व्हाट डू यू थिंक अबाउट द फ्यूचर ऑफ डीफाई इन द वेब3 स्पेस. मतलब अभी का जो एग्जिस्टिंग मॉडल है ऑन यूनिस्वैप हो गया, आवे हो गया, इट्स अ लिटिल बिट कॉम्प्लिकेटेड, राइट? तो कोई भी इजीली जाके मतलब उसको यूज़ नहीं कर सकता. एंड इन इंडिया स्पेशली वी आर अ मोबाइल फर्स्ट नेशन, तो हम लोग सब कुछ ज़्यादातर मोबाइल पे ही करते हैं. एंड द यूआई राइट नाउ इज़ नॉट सो गुड. तो क्या प्लान्स है, लाइक क्या आपको लगता है कि हो सकता है डीफाई स्पेस में आगे आने वाले 2-3 years, maybe 5 years down the line?
Yeah, I think currently, when the internet was started, the user interface was not at all good. I mean, it was very problematic to use anything. It will take a lot of time to understand, easier things. So currently, I know we as an ecosystem know, I keep on talking to a lot of builders. Everyone understand that we are not to the level where we want to be currently in terms of user experience, and supporting mobile. In terms of security also, there is a lot of experimentation, there is a lot of innovation which is still happening. But the good part is that we have very intelligent people who are in the ecosystem, who are continuously hustling. We have a great talent from Web2 also joining in Web3, and sort of they are also bringing their experience with Web2. So when I say a lot of these things are going on, we imagine the future is just like you won't even know you are using blockchain technology, you won't even know you are interacting with there will be no going and signing transaction of MetaMask. There will be no transaction fees. Currently we have to pay some amount of fees. So in future it will be just like everything should go in background, and just like you normally use your apps currently, you will be able to use the apps in a similar way, and everything will be handled in the background. So I am very positive that we are going very strong, even though the market, we are in a bear market currently, but a lot of builders have not left the ecosystem, and there is so much development still happening regularly. So I am very positive, and this is the future I imagine, where you won't even know you are interacting with blockchain, but everything will be happening on blockchain.
Awesome. काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग टेक है अबाउट द फ्यूचर अडॉप्शन इन डीफाई टर्म्स. तो मेन टेकअवेज इस पॉडकास्ट में ये रहा. नंबर वन इज V2 is launching on 27th. तो anyone can go and use UniLend protocol V2 this month later on. The next thing is that कि आप लोग grant दे रहे हो to all the builders who are still in the space and trying to innovate something with DeFi. और अगर आप UniLend को integrate करते हो, reach out to the team. They will help you out in every possible way in marketing, anything. एंड लास्टली लाइक there's a lot of work to be done. तो अगर आप वेब 2 से भी हो या फिर अगर आप सोच रहे हो वेब 2 में एंटर करने का, तो यार वेब 3 को भी एक्सप्लोर कर लो पैरेलली. You have a lot of opportunity in the space, and if you have any ending thoughts, sir, please उस पे आप ऐड कर दो and then we can wrap up.
Yeah, sure. I mean, first of all, Promit, I really love the work you are doing. So thanks a lot for inviting me for the interview. And we need people like you. Doesn't matter, if you don't know how to code, if you are not from tech background, you can definitely contribute in different aspects if you are interested in Web3. And we believe that this is going to be the future. So don't miss the chance to be early. Come join us, and definitely there is lot of good work happening in the ecosystem. We know we are building the future of decentralized finance. If you are interested, join our community. Whatever help you need, we will be able to do it. And if you are looking to get started and you have no idea and you want to sort of start with very basic things, we have a UniLend Legion, which is our ambassador program running up, so you can come and join that also. And yeah, Web3 is very supportive in nature, so anyone interested, please come, and we will welcome you with open arms. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for doing this, sir. And if you have any questions, if you want the links to join UniLend programs, I'll drop them in the comments and in the description. That was all for this episode. Really appreciate you guys watching us.